Just about 2 weeks through the 2017 NFL season, we can see pretty clear divisions between who's the class in both conferences. It's also a strong enough sample size to really break down who's a surefire bet for FanDuel, DraftKings and other daily fantasy lineups. Thus far, very little has changed compared to last season and who DFS owners can trust on a week-to-week basis. We waited a couple weeks for the divisions to form, and it should be worth the wait since it allowed us to assess who is falling and who's on the rise. How many of us really thought Bengals quarterback Andy Dalton would collapse and turn top DFS weapons like receiver AJ Green and tight end Tyler Eifert into wasted salary cap? That's something we would have known prior to weeks 1 and 2. Keep up with this story and more by subscribing. No War. What if Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt's Week 1 annihilation of the New England Patriots' depth-lacking defense was just an outlier? Turns out it totally wasn't. Hunt's the prime example of rookie running backs, like the Jaguars' Leonard Fournette and the Vikings' Dalvin Cook, taking over this season, while Cowboys sophomore Ezekiel Elliott has failed to regain the power and speed from his rookie campaign with a suspension and court battles hanging over him. As far as receiving goes, there's very few, if any, fresh faces making cases for regular DFS consideration. The Vikings' Adam Thielen is currently number 2 in the league in receiving, and Eagles' tight end Zach Ertz is right behind him, but otherwise, we have the regular cast of characters of the Steelers' Antonio Brown, the Falcons' Julio Jones and the Raiders' Michael Crabtree maintaining his solid connection with quarterback Derek Carr. Speaking of quarterbacks, Carr and Kansas City's Alex Smith are currently second in the NFL with 5 touchdown passes apiece, behind only the Broncos' Trevor Siemian. That might be the only true surprise NFL fans and fantasy players have experienced so far in 2017. The tried and true stars still provide the lifeblood of DFS lineups, for now, but finding that proper combo is what help owners win each week. Here are the rankings for Week 3 at each position, including flex. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Carson Wentz 11 throws a pass as Kansas City Chiefs defensive end Chris Jones 95 defends in the first half at Arrowhead Stadium. USA Today via Reuters. J. Biggerstaff QB1. Matt Ryan, Falcons 2. Tom Brady, Patriots 3. Carson Wentz, Eagles 4. Dak Prescott, Cowboys 5. Drew Brees, Saints. Ian has kept the momentum from his MVP campaign last year, and his price could be lower against a Lions secondary that picked off 3 passes in its first game. At 40, Brady's leading the league in passing yardage and is 5th in yards per attempt, so it makes sense to go with a hot hand. However, he is facing Houston's number 6 pass defense, even if it only has 3 sacks so far. Brady's also expensive for DFS owners, so Wentz could be a solid fill-in. The second-year passer can light up the Giants, and he can make up for his 3 picks in 2 games against New York last year. Everyone expected Prescott to come back to earth, and he could still struggle against an Arizona defense that looked far better in Week 2, but Brees has an even tougher matchup against a Panthers D that hasn't surrendered a passing touchdown in its first 2 games. RB1, Kareem Hunt, Chiefs 2. J.A.J. Dolphins 3. Javorius Allen, Ravens 4. Carlos Hyde, 49ers 5. Mike Gillislee, Patriots. Hunt's the hottest and likely the most expensive back in the league, so if you opt not to blow a huge chunk of your cap on him, AJ's matchup with the Jets' last-placing rushing defense is quite tempting. Allen could destabilizing force the Ravens' backfield has missed since Ray Rice, and he draws the Jaguars' 4th rushing D. Hyde has a short wick, which could be a drawback, but he meets the Rams, who are letting up 4.8 yards per carry. Gillislee seems like a steady red zone battering ram, even if he doesn't get a ton of yards, so maybe HES your number 2 back a flex spot. WR1. Antonio Brown, Steelers 2. Julio Jones, Falcons 3. Michael Crabtree, Raiders 4. Keenan Allen, Chargers 5. Dez Bryant, Cowboys. Brown and Jones are expensive but looks to put up solid numbers in very favorable matchups. Brown has the Bears, who are 8th worst in yards surrendered to receivers, and Jones can muscle his way for extra yardage against the Lions. The Redskins, coughing up 559 yards and 3 touchdowns at 13.3 yards per catch, will have to figure out Crabtree, while a healthy Allen is worth a gamble in DFS since you would have him for just 1 week. Bryan is obviously reliant on Prescott, but he has the power to bust out of tackles and gain huge chunks of yardage with Arizona allow more than 10 yards a catch. New England Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski 87 is tackled by New Orleans Saints safety Kenny Vaccaro 32 during the first quarter of a game at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. USA Today Sports via Reuters Derek E. Hinglety 1. Rob Gronkowski, Patriots 2. Travis Kelce, Chiefs 3. Delanie Walker, Titans 4. Zach Ertz, Eagles 5. Jason Witten, Cowboys. Gronk has only caught 8 of the 15 balls sent his way, but HES the 9th leading pass catcher in the league, meaning HES making the most of each target. Ertz has 190 yards and 2 scores, and pairing him and Wentz could mean beaucoup points since the Giants are likely to be focused on Philly's primary receivers. Walker has snatched 11 of 13 balls and Marcus Mariota will look his way more than deep balls against Seattle. Witten is padding his Hall of Fame career and might be good for a few catches and a touchdown. FLEX 1. Ty Montgomery, RB, Packers 2. Lamar Miller, RB, Texans 3. Adam Thielen, WR, Vikings. Montgomery will stare down the Bengals' second-worst rushing defense and be even stronger than he was against Atlanta in Week 2, especially if you're in a PPR league. Miller gets to take advantage of the Patriots' severely lacking rush defense this week, but could be a big gamble since Houston's offense is so limited. Thielen clearly has a good rapport with Case Keenum, but Sam Bradford could return from a bone bruise in his knee, although that's a premature assumption at the moment. Defense 1. Baltimore 2. New England 3. Denver 4. Miami 5. LA Rams. The Ravens lead the league in total takeaways with 10 and will face Blake Bortles, making them pricey but probably a sure thing. The Texans turned things over to Deshaun Watson and he was fine against Cincy, but the rookie has to face a Bill Belichick defense. Denver meets a one-dimensional Bills offense, while Miami draws the hapless Jets. The Rams, though it's a Thursday game, get a 49ers offense averaging 6 points after 2 games.